Today on Scoper 90 Degrees, we're diving into a head-to-head look at 5 of the most talked-about lever-action rifles on the market. Rifles that blend history, modern engineering, and real-world performance. I want you to stick with me through every entry because these are not just pretty pieces of hardware. Each one brings a distinct personality to the table, from old-school charm and wallop to modern ergonomics and capacity. In the next sections, I'll break down each rifle with clear specs, honest objective pros and cons, my own hands-on impressions, and a realistic price range so you know what to expect when you start shopping. Expect smooth transitions between sections so the review reads naturally for AI text-to-voice. And if you want me to go gun by gun, tell me to continue and I'll start with the rifle at number 5. Number 5. Marlin 336. Dark Series Start 3030 Winchester. The Marlin 336 Dark Series is the kind of rifle that wears its intent on its sleeve, rugged, compact, and built to do work in the brush, or on a truck tailgate, and it earns its spot on this list for that no-nonsense practicality. Objectively, the 336 Dark Series ships in a parkerized black finish with a solvent-resistant hardwood stock coated in textured paint, a 5-round capacity .3030 Winchester XS, sights mounted on a lever rail adjustable aperture rear and a white striped front, and a 16-inch barrel with a threaded muzzle for muzzle devices. It also comes with practical touches like a paracord-wrapped big loop lever and an included sling, plus a top side rail if you want to add low-power optics. From a pure performance standpoint, the Marlin is accurate inside typical hunting distances for .3030 easy carry, and fast to shouldering and cycling. Everything you want when you're moving through cover. On the downside, the 3030 is ballistically limited compared with modern big game cartridges, and the shorter barrel and parkerized finish put weight and balance in a package that some shooters find a little muzzle heavy. Subjectively, I love the Subjectively, I love the barrel and parkerized finish put weight and balance. Subjectively, I love the way the 336 handles in tight quarters. The lever throw is smooth, the sights are usable off the shelf, and the paracord lever makes winter gloves less of a nuisance. For a woods rifle, it's simply confidence-inspiring. Realistic price range for a new Marlin 336 Dark Series typically sits in the mid to upper budget tier for lever guns. Expect something around the low to mid hundreds to just under $1,000 depending on retailer, configuration, and whether extras like threading or optics are fitted. Next up, I'll move to number 4, the Browning BLR, to contrast modern features and magazine options with the classic Marlin feel. Number 4. Browning BLR. The Browning BLR brings modern engineering and practical innovation to the lever-action world, and it earns this spot because it solves a number of long-standing lever-action compromises without losing the character shooters expect. Objectively, the BLR uses an attachable box magazine, usually 4 rounds in common hunting calibers, a lightweight aluminum alloy receiver, options for short or long actions to handle a wide range of cartridges, and quality sights or optics-ready beds depending on the model. It's typically offered with a glossy walnut stock and a well-finished metalwork that keeps the rifle feeling purposeful yet refined. Overall length and weight vary by caliber and barrel choice, but plan on roughly the mid-30s to low 40s in length and around 7 pounds for many configurations. Performance-wise, the BLR is accurate, easy to disassemble for field maintenance, and benefits from the faster reloads and safer magazine setup compared to tubular-fed lever guns, making it a great choice for hunters who want modern cartridge flexibility and quicker follow-ups. On the downside, purists sometimes gripe that the BLR departs from vintage lever aesthetics, and that some calibers produce stout recoil in a relatively light package. So practice and recoil management are advisable. Subjectively, I appreciate the BLR for how it modernizes the platform. The handling feels balanced, the trigger on many examples is better than you'd expect, and being able to run pointed soft-point cartridges in a box magazine without worrying about primer-to-bullet contact is a real practical advantage in the field. Realistic price range for a new Browning BLR generally runs from the mid-hundreds to just over $1,000 depending on finish barrel length and whether it's a premium grade. Expect most common models to sit near the upper mid-price band for lever guns. Next, I'll move to number 3. The POF USA Tombstone, to show you a lever action that aggressively blends tradition with tactical upgrades. Number 3. POF USA Tombstone. The POF USA Tombstone is the kind of lever action that announces itself, modern, aggressive, and unapologetically engineered to marry classic lever reliability with tactical convenience. Objectively, the Tombstone departs from traditional tubular magazines, offering a detachable box magazine in high-capacity configurations, an aluminum receiver to save weight, free-floating barrel often fitted with a muzzle brake to tame recoil, an optics-ready top rail, an integral ghost ring or XS-style iron sights, and an underbarrel Picatinny section for accessories. Overall length and weight depend on configuration, but the design biases toward compactness and controllability while still delivering lever-action accuracy. Performance-wise, the Tombstone is notable for quick reloads, reduced reload time penalties, and the unmistakable is notable for quick reloads, reduced reload time penalties, and the ability to safely run pointed bullets that would be problematic in tubular-fed designs. The free-floating barrel and modern bedding produce very good accuracy for a lever gun, and the muzzle brake plus stock ergonomics make stout calibers more manageable. On the downside, the Tombstone's advanced feature set raises its price and shifts the feel away from the classic lever-action aesthetic. Its furniture and chassis-like geometry won't satisfy purists who want a wooden-blued classic. Some shooters also report the leverage and balance feel different due to the detachable magazine and aluminum receiver, so it can take an afternoon at the range to get fully comfortable. Subjectively, I find the Tombstone exhilarating to shoot. It's fast to cycle. The follow-ups are confidence-inspiring, and I appreciate that it lets you use modern bullet profiles without compromise. It feels like a practical tool for hunting, ranch work, or even a defensive truck gun, where speed and capacity matter. Realistic price range for a new POF. A Tombstone places it at the higher end of lever guns. Expect to pay in the upper three figures into the low to mid four figures depending on options and caliber, reflecting its premium materials and non-traditional feature set. Next, I will move to number 2, the Henry All-Weather, to contrast rugged classic styling and elemental durability with the Tombstone's modern approach. Number 2. Henry All-Weather. Moving up the list, the Henry All-Weather represents the kind of rugged, no-nonsense lever gun built to keep working when everything else is getting wet, dirty, or cold, and it contrasts nicely with the Tombstone's tactical focus by trading flash for absolute dependability. Objectively, the All-Weather is offered in traditional lever calibers like .45-70 Gov and .30-30 Winchester, with an overall length around 39 inches and a serviceable weight near 7 pounds depending on configuration. It features a 20-inch round, hard chrome-plated steel barrel and a satin industrial hard chrome receiver finish that resists corrosion, a side-loading gate for quick top-up reloads, a capacity of roughly 4 to 5 rounds caliber dependent, a brass bead front sight, and fully adjustable semi-buckhorn rear sight with a diamond insert, a Weaver 63B style scope mount for optics, and a stained hardwood stock with a black rubber recoil pad for uncomfortable shots. In real-world performance, the All-Weather is predictably accurate inside the effective range of its chamberings, extremely reliable in adverse conditions thanks to the chrome-lined bore and corrosion-resistant metalwork, and comfortable to carry and shoot for extended hunts or long days on the ranch. On the downside, its traditional tubular magazine limits you to rounded bullet profiles. If you want to be conservative, the finish and weight won't win any styling awards for modern looks, and heavier chamberings like .45-70 will deliver stout recoil that demands respect in practice. Subjectively, I respect the Henry All-Weather because it simply removes a lot of what can go wrong in the field. It's the kind of rifle you can trust to work after being left in the back of a truck for days. And that confidence is worth a lot when your priorities are durability and reliability rather than novelty. Realistic price range for a new Henry All-Weather typically falls in the mid to upper tier for lever guns. Expect to pay roughly in the mid-hundreds to around $1,000 depending on finish, caliber, and retailer, reflecting its premium corrosion-resistant treatment and solid build quality. Next, I'll present number 1, the Winchester Model 94, and explain why it still tops many hunters' lists. Winchester Model 94. The Winchester Model 94 is a legendary lever action that tops many lists thanks to its simplicity, reliability, and a history that spans more than a century. Objectively, the Model 94 typically measures about 42 inches overall, weighs just over 7 pounds depending on the variant, and uses a tubular magazine with a capacity of roughly 6-8 rounds when chambered in .30-30 Winchester. It features a traditional case-colored or blued receiver, a grade walnut stock with fine checkering, and an exposed hammer and classic drop ejector design, all combining to create a rifle that's easy to carry and quick to operate in woods and thick cover. Its performance strengths include a smooth lever stroke for very fast follow-ups, accuracy adequate for the effective range of the .30-30, and a balanced carry feel that makes it comfortable to handle all day. That's why many brush hunters and saddle carriers remain loyal to it. Limitations to note are the ballistic limits of the .30-30 compared with modern high-pressure cartridges, and the fact that Collectible or limited production variants can command high prices. Personal impression: shouldering a Model 94 is a distinct experience. The lever movement is fluid and rhythmic. The walnut stock settles. The walnut stock settles into the shoulder naturally, and there's a tangible connection to classic hunting tradition that modern rifles rarely replicate. Price guide: new production models. Warrior rifles rarely replicate. Price guide: new production models commonly fall in the high hundreds up to around $1,000 for standard trims. Vintage, limited, or high-grade examples can climb into the multiple $1,000 range on the collector market.